Welcome, viewers, all of you who are watching us live. Welcome to the show. Today is special because we're celebrating an entrepreneur in a small town in Tenkasi. Doing the unconventional thing is difficult for most of us. And when you meet Gayatri, you'll see how she has managed to mold herself into a completely new role given that she now has to manage a fairly large operation. But being an entrepreneur in a small town is a completely different thing from doing it in the cubicles and in the metros in the large cities. The challenges are different. And what we'll try and do in today's conversation is to try and understand how she brings the calmness and the competence to manage a family business that's been around for over 90 years. So let me bring Gayatri onto the show and let us hear her story in her own words.
Hi, Venu
Good
sir.
afternoon, Gayatri.
No,
Hi. So wonderful to have you on the show. I'm glad you, uh, agreed to do this. And I know in the lead up to the show, you told me how you were so uh, quiet and you really preferred listening rather than talking. Today, unfortunately or fortunately, you will be doing most of the talking.
right.
and but tell me, what is it like? You're running a business which has been around for a fairly long time. Fairly long time is 90 years.
Yes.
So, give us a sense of what it is to run a retail store in a temple town. Tenkasi obviously is very well known for the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's it like?
Okay. So this is like a semi-urban kind of a place.
Okay.
We have just been given. Tenkasi has been awarded a recognition of being the district headquarters just 2 years back.
Okay.
So till then, it used to be a very laid-back place, totally surrounded by a lot of villages. Main thing is agriculture. There are no industries, no big factories or big organizations or anything, offices running over here. So our main customers are just in and around this small place, mostly rural people um, who come here mainly for wedding purchases. That has been our main point of focus,
Business.
wedding,
Okay.
wedding silks, because that is something which we are very proud to have been for so many years, and people still come and tell like their grandfather grandmother used they got their wedding saris in this store and they still have it and it is still
Yeah.
wearable. That is a great thing. That is like
Yeah.
amazing to hear
Yeah.
all such stories. Our main customers are that's it. So loyal customers who have been with us for so many years, generation upon generation, and even people who go out, they come back and they visit this place with fond memories of their childhood, coming and playing in the store. There used to be a sofa kind of a thing near the silk sari section where I think all the kids used to jump around and over here usually when people come, they come in big groups. Say 20, 30 people come to get a single sari for the wedding. So most of the kids even fall asleep. They come and they shop for around half day or sometimes even the full day.
Okay.
All those things, when I get to hear such stories, I feel very proud of the heritage of this shop.
Wonderful. So, what was your childhood like, Gayatri? Where did it?
Good. Okay, childhood. I was actually born in Coimbatore,
Okay.
but totally brought up in Bangalore. I did my
Okay.
from my primary education till middle school. I was in Bangalore, so till
Okay.
sixth standard actually. And then my dad used to work in a bank, so he got a transfer to UP. So
Okay.
we got shifted from Bangalore to a place called Muzaffarnagar, which is very close to Delhi. So we were
Okay.
there for around 3 years, and then he luckily got a transfer back to his native Coimbatore, and so I came back for my 10th, 11th, 12th, and my college. I did it in Coimbatore.
So did you pick up Hindi in Muzaffarnagar, or was it
Absolutely, it was like, oh, that is a big story in itself,
okay?
because I did my basic education in a government school. Actually, Chinmaya Vidyalaya in Bangalore at that time used to be a government school. So the first language was English, second language used to be Kannada, and the third language used to be Hindi. And even in the sixth standard, Hindi used to be like hardly one sentence. The answers used to
Yeah,
be just in one sentence. So
right.
कुत्ता कहाँ था? कुत्ता यहाँ है. Bas, that's about it. Huh?
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
the teacher used to write it on the board, and we used to religiously see every word and just copy it in our notebooks. So that was the thing till sixth standard, and jumped to seventh standard, and it was a CBSE school where, though medium was in English, but even English used to be taught only in Hindi. So literally, was a big major shock for me. The first period was Hindi, and the teacher was like, she started giving out dictation notes, and I was like, I just opened the book, and I just started writing one word of whatever I could hear, and people had just finished the one page, and I was
Okay,
like, okay, this is not going to happen. I just kept quiet. I just waited it out, and went and told her, this is not going to happen. You have to help me out. So
okay.
it was tough. 3 years over there was tough. I think I totally lost touch with English. I lost touch with Tamil. I lost touch with Kannada. Everything I forgot. I remembered only Hindi. Yeah. So coming back to Coimbatore was like, again, I get a refresher course for all these other languages. Uh,
That's
and
unusually.
people used to be like, why are you talking weird? So that slang absolutely stuck with me. The Hindi slang stuck with me.
Yeah.
Even English was bad. So
But you
it was
managed to pick up Hindi and convert completely into
no,
that.
there's no the go. There's absolutely no go when you have to be
Okay.
in a school and you have to talk to people. And even though we were encouraged, it was a convent school and we were encouraged to talk in English, but everyone used to talk only in Hindi. And
Hmm.
if I asked them a question in English, say, I need this notebook or something, they used to just not be bothered to even reply me back. So
Oh,
I had no other go but to change myself and pick up Hindi. And I'm very proud to say I even excelled in Hindi. And the teacher was so happy at the end of of my
wow.
ninth standard. She was like, "Oh my God, look at this girl! She's come from somewhere where she didn't know Hindi at all, and she has stopped Hindi and Sanskrit. Sanskrit was totally new
Fabulous.
to me. I had to pick that up too. Yeah." So
Okay.
it was nice. If I look back, it feels nice. But
Yeah.
those 3 years were really tough. Yeah, really tough.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you still, no, that's the amazing part that you went from knowing nothing, like you said, kuta yahan tha ya wahan tha, to actually topping the class.
Yes.
So, coming back, you sort of had to fit back into a
Right, right,
thing which
right.
was okay. This was
Okay.
known territory, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Coimbatore was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what were what are the things that you looked at in terms of education? What were your options? What did you think you could be doing?
Okay. So came back. Usually, 10th standard, no schools, usually they don't entertain new admissions, actually.
Hmm.
So since I had good grades, they were like, okay. So they took me in. And after 10th, I had no idea what to do. But since my dad is in the banking sector, I really liked that. I was more into what he was doing. So I
Hmm.
thought, okay, commerce is the thing. I'm going to go in for commerce. Even though I was very good at science, but I really thought commerce would be good for me. So I went
Okay.
in for commerce, accountancy, business maths, and computer science, that group. And even I got fairly good marks. I think I was school third during my 12th standard.
Okay.
And then after that, again the struggle of getting a good seat in a college that
Right.
started. And even though I scored 97%, I couldn't get a good college seat.
Okay.
So nearest option was a good option was a college called GRD College of Science, which was closer to my house. So my dad was like, okay, we'll go and get you admitted in BCom and that. I was like, no, I'll rather do my correspondence and all that. He was like, no, 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 you're already very quiet. You need to go and mingle with people. And he literally pushed me to go into college, actually. So,
Okay.
and those 3 years of BCom also was like, really, it's very funny if I look back and see there were hardly 5 girls in the class with 30 boys, and we used to never interact with anybody. And I had one good, very best friend with whom I used to only with her I used to talk. And looking back, I even still laugh. We both laugh like, oh God, how we have been. We used to hardly talk with anybody.
So you were
So
the introvert that the whole world was trying to make an extrovert of.
yes, especially my parents, because they both talk well. So they were always like, they're feeling like, why is she not talking? So probably they felt puzzled and even fearful, like, I will not even talk at all, or I'll never open up, or something like that. So,
But you were very comfortable being that, right? It's not as
yeah,
if you felt you
comfortable.
didn't
Yeah.
require somebody to be
Anybody.
around and have
Yeah, yeah,
conversations
absolutely.
and
No, no, no. Because I'm the single child, so I've always been content with being with my own company. I have never
okay,
needed anybody to come and keep me company or keep me engaged. No.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's actually a strength at certain
Yeah.
times because it really means that you can being comfortable with yourself takes a fair amount of doing because
Very true. Very true.
okay. So you finished your BCom then?
Yeah. So finished my BCom
Huh.
and I thought, okay, now is the chance when I'll be really rewarded for my marks. I topped the college in BCom also. So I thought, okay, now I'll at least have a change of place from the 3 years of college and the same group where I used to not talk and all that. So I thought, okay, maybe I should have a change of place. And I even got good admissions elsewhere for MBA. But then my HOD was like, see, I'll give you a merit seat for Master of International Business. So
Okay.
MIB. And he was like, why don't you just get me a university rank and I'll just give you this seat for you free. I was like, okay, fine. I was like, okay, maybe my dad's burden will be a little less. I was like, fine, okay. MIB sounded different too, and sounded more better than MBA, where
Okay.
everybody else was doing MBA for a PG. So I thought, okay, maybe okay, I might be fine. But those 2 years were like really the best years of my life, I would say. Really
Okay.
had a wonderful time in MIB with a class which is still close knit even to date. We keep in touch with
Wonderful.
everybody, and even though I still used to not talk much, but still I had a very nice time with all those people. Used to like, they accepted me for what I am, so it
Yeah.
was nice.
You have
Yeah, they didn't
your
expect me or
fans.
push me to talk or do something. They just accepted me for that, and it was nice being a big gang. It was good.
Okay. So I'm just showing you some of the comments that have come up.
Okay.
Okay. These are your well wishers. Okay.
Yes.
So you finished your MBA and then did you really want to take up a job at that point or was it more
Yeah,
about
actually, MIB was like every semester they used to take us
sorry,
out for
MIB. I keep saying MBA. Yeah,
Mm.
MIB. Huh.
They used to take us out for IV visits and used to be really good places. Like they even took us to Dubai and Oman, and we got to see the Jebel Ali port and
Okay.
all those big, giant corporations working over there. I was really fascinated seeing that. The first thought was like, I want to work in Jebel Ali in some big corporate like this, because it is like larger than life really at that
Yeah.
time point of time. It was newly constructed with 64 berths, man-made port, and that itself felt like great. So I was thinking, okay, maybe if I go for a job, I should work in such a place. So I really was looking forward to that once the probably the course completed, and we started getting campus interviews. I was selected for a few, but
Hmm.
then what happened was, like, I met my husband in when I was studying in MIB.
Okay.
He was my classmate and my very close friend, and he proposed to me, and I said yes.
Okay.
So that became my priority, and
Okay.
I thought, okay, I think I want to get settled with him. That's it.
Okay.
So that was a total change of plans, and I think as soon as I finished my PG, we told to our parents, and they said yes, and just we just got married. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a change of scene at that point in time. Okay. Right. So then life went on, and
Yeah.
you have two children.
Yes, I have two boys.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And
And then, of course, I think, yeah, we'll get over that. You suddenly had to, because of the tragedy that happened, you had to sort of, you were at a kind of crossroad,
yes. Right.
and you had to figure out, okay, where do things go from here?
Yeah.
So I know it's hard to this thing, but can you go back to some of the things that in your mind you decided that, okay, this is what I need to do,
Okay.
and take it forward from there?
Right. So, my husband is the only son. He's got an elder sister, but he's the only son. And he actually wanted to go settle abroad and probably do his MS over there or something like that. But then, since he was the only son, parents were like, they pressurized him into coming to the family business and get settled down here itself. And then he did try to go and study abroad, but it didn't happen. So then he thought, okay, why not, let us come and settle down here itself. And so when we got married, he had already come into the business and he was working for some time over here. And then once I also came here, it was like literally I was a housewife for almost say 10, 12 years. Yeah, with both kids, small kids. I used to take care of them and all that. But he used to always tell me, like, you have to come into the shop. Once the kids were kind of big, and he was like, you have to start knowing things, how things work over here. You have to understand what all goes into this business, and also you have to know what all I know. He used to keep telling me that. He used to tell me that I have to be his clone, literally his clone, so that we can make this easier for both of us. Because even he goes in the morning, he comes back only at night. The whole day I have nothing much to do. Kids go off to school. So then he was like, you come to start coming to the shop. So I used to be like very, I was not very happy coming to the shop and taking over business. That was not my cup of tea, I felt. Because, like, since I'm from the working class background, um business I have never felt is all that. No, I feel, why
Yeah.
you have to keep sitting full time taking all this tension? You go work for somebody else, you have your fixed timings, you finish your thing, you come back home, you spend time with family. This is like, totally you lose your life sitting in a place. you I didn't see the point at all. So he used to say, like, no, see, this is going to change once you come and sit here and you start making money of your own. Then you will start getting an interest. He used to tell me this often. And I was like, no, money is of no interest. I just want your company. That's about it. So the main reason I started coming to the shop is I could spend more time with him. That's about it.
Right.
Yeah. So I used to be, I we used to share a cabin, and he used to force me to do a lot of stuff, like office work, related work. Back then, it used to be value added tax, VAT. So he used to
Mm.
tell me to file VAT every month, or pay PF, ESI challans, and all those things he used to make me do. And I used to be like, oh, this is really hard. I used to not at all. Every time he used to teach me, like, you have to start from the beginning. He used to teach me, and I used to always forget. And I was like, this is like, why you have to do all this? Get somebody to do it for you. But he used to always say, no, you have to know. You have to know that firsthand. Only then you will be able to, like, suddenly if somebody comes ask you a question and you're not able to answer, what kind of image are you trying to portray to that person? So you
Okay.
have to first equip yourself with knowledge, and only then you feel okay. This is something way beyond or way under my thing, so you can delegate it to somebody else. So first you need to you 100% know the know-hows of how this business works. So the only thing I didn't try out was going to the counter and doing a sale as such. Everything else I have tried. I have tried
You're
billing. I have
working
been in
fine.
cash. He made me do all that stuff. So in a way, it was very good. It really helped me take over seamlessly,
Okay.
because this is like, without knowing anything, you just come in. It's like, being blindfolded and left off in a forest. It is literally like that. So this exposure really helped me take over the business once he was gone suddenly. So it was, even though I did have a lot of initial hiccups, but I am very happy, like, the staff, all these close to 100 people who work for us, they're so supportive. So that
Yeah.
is something that's really, I wanted to do that back to them. I just didn't want to leave them hanging, or I can't do this. It was very easy for me to say, no, I can't do this. That's it. Do something with it. I'm just going. I'm probably going back to Coimbatore or something. Easy for me to say. But what about these 100 people with their families who are like totally dependent on the shop over here for so many years? I still have staff who are working over here for more than 40 years.
Wow.
So they are pretty old. Nobody is going to give them a job again. And I just want them for their experience. So I just kept them. And the good thing is, over here we don't chuck people out just because they're old or something. My father-in-law had the same ideologies. He was like, you keep people till they feel, no, I'm not able to do this, or they have their own personal reasons to quit. So till such time, we don't say no, you can pack up and leave. So I still follow that, and it is
It's
good.
That's amazing, Gayatri, because in today's world you hear of 600, 6,000, 10,000 people being
Yeah,
let go in one single call.
yeah,
And here you are, where you say that no, until the person says that.
yes,
So do you think it's part of a, you know, an older time, a more
yes,
gentle time,
definitely. And also
where
you could really, um, people were loyal back then. They used to be so loyal, and they used to not feel like, I'm working here for money. It was beyond that. They felt like family. They used to take part in all the good and bad. So you cannot expect that in the younger generation, because of other society pressures. Also, I would say, like, they have their own, like, say, cost of living is increased. Even if I am going to pay less, nobody is going to be here with me. So they have no other go but to, even if somebody pays you 2,000 or 3,000 extra, because of their family problems, they have no other choice but to move on. So I wouldn't blame them totally or tell them they are not loyal. I wouldn't tell that, but the society puts so much of pressure to all these people. Earning becomes the number one main thing in life. So that nothing can be done in the newer generations.
so to a large extent what you're saying is that that early sort of coming into the business, even if only on a, not because you really were
Wanted.
looking to help
Yeah.
a great deal in terms of
Right,
the
right,
same,
right.
but
Yeah.
it also meant the difference, I think, would have meant that you were now making all the decisions, not just helping. You were,
Right. It's true. Very true.
and you knew by then most of your vendors and
Yeah,
people that you, okay, okay, so that would definitely have helped in terms of how
absolutely.
you,
And
and
also, this is like, since it's an established business, and say you also have a, what do you say, something like a flow chart kind of a thing, where
Hmm.
you know that goods come in, next what has to be done, it has to be put in the LR entry should be there, then the process is already set in place.
Hmm.
So I need not keep monitoring people and being a ringmaster, getting work done, do this, do this, do this. No, people know what to do. Once this happens, what is the next thing to do, what is the next thing to do. So since these people are there for quite a long time, so that was also easier for me.
Hmm.
So many other things I had to learn. I had to learn from them, actually, to be true. So but they didn't shy away from, like, or never once I have felt like they are trying to say, like, oh god, this girl doesn't know anything, but she's come here as my boss. Why should I
Hmm.
listen to her? I have so much of experience, but still I have to listen to her. Not once I have either heard a complaint or a behavioral change in any of them. So that is the best part of being here.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm. No, that's an amazing, what do you say, set of things to have.
yeah,
Because, like you said, the goodwill that you earned in
right.
all the number of years that the was around obviously helped to get over that very difficult phase in which you found
Absolutely.
yourself. So now that you have, sort of managed the business for about 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
do you think that there is anything personal that you bring to it, or is it a continuation or a continuum of the earlier thing? Does
Yeah.
your choice of things you buy, or
Right.
uh,
Right.
what are the things that you think have?
Um, I think I wanted the woman's touch to the business,
Okay.
because it's always been managed by men. And
Okay.
as a typical small town, people outside, they are not very forth. They don't really welcome women to be at the top of things. And this one, it could be very simple things also, like,
Yeah.
say, 20 years back, or not 20 years, say 18 years back, when I just came to the town. I was so used to driving a two-wheeler back at home. So I
Hmm.
told, like, I'll bring my two-wheeler. It was a scooter. I'll bring it over here. And my father-in-law was like, no, 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 you cannot go about driving a two-wheeler. You'll literally be the talk of the town. That's what he told me. And I was very shocked. I was like, why should I be the talk of town if I'm going to mind my own business? He was like,
Yeah.
no, they don't welcome such kind of sudden changes and all that over here. And so he
And
said, no, you
driving a
have.
two-wheeler is seen as a sudden change.
Yes, absolutely. Because at
Wow.
that time, at that point of time, there was not a
Okay.
single lady who used to drive over here. So, but then my husband said, no problem. See, you have a car. You take the car and go. That's about it.
Hmm.
Simple as that. You want to
Hmm.
go around, take the car and go. I'm not going to say no. So I was like, even though I was like, I used to drive a car around, but even though, same thing, like, I'm the only child, overprotective parents. My dad is like, anywhere you go, I come along, I'll go drop you, I'll come and pick you. It used to be like that. But
Hmm.
my husband gave me so much of, motivation and this one to do things which I really liked. So I was like, yeah, why not? And I used to really like driving a lot. So he was like, you do that. That's your passion. Do it. Come drop me daily in the store. Come and pick me back from the here. I was like, I was very happy with that. So
Okay.
once I started driving, even the small kids in the town used to come out and look, like, and see. And there was, I still remember taking the car out, and a small girl, she was hardly 3 years old. I'm not even sure if she could speak fluently. She was like, you're so poor, you can't even afford a driver. She asked me this question. I was like laughing. What do I explain to a child? I was like, no, I like to drive. She was like, oh, nobody over here drives. That's what she told me. And I was like, okay, so this town is that.
But it's amazing that that is the thing in the mind of the child, that
Yeah,
a
right.
woman who drives
I'm so poor to afford a driver.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
it's
oh God.
amazing how, these are things that I don't think you'll ever come across in the
Anywhere
city.
else,
Like
yeah.
you said, in Coimbatore, you would do it without a second thought.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And here you had to carefully consider what would the impact be if you were seen driving around town alone.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So then in the store, was there, so like you said, you brought the woman's touch.
yes.
Now, what do you think that is? Is it in terms of color? Is it in terms of decor? Is it in terms of how you interact with people?
Right. Everything, probably everything. A little of everything. Um, at least I had a chance to come to the store and start doing a few things when my husband was alive itself. But my mother-in-law, she's now 75. She's never had any exposure to the shop at all. She's literally
Okay.
been at home all her life. So once my father-in-law passed away first. So once he passed away, my husband was like, "You're not going to be alone at home." So he brought in his mom to the store. He was like, "You come with us daily. You whatever time you are comfortable with. You just come, stay here. You just be here. That's about it. You not do any work. Just be here." She's very good at administration. My mother-in-law is like amazing at administration, getting work done from people, extracting work. She's very good at that.
Mhm.
So why don't you put that into action? And start managing people for me. That's the thing which he gave her first. And for that, my mother-in-law was like, she was like, "I have never done this before. I'm not sure," and all that. It's like, no, no, no. You don't think anything about it. Just do what you like. I give you full freedom to do that. So that itself was a big change for her. So once, just 1 year since my father-in-law passed away, even my husband passed away. So that's when I told my mother-in-law, "No, you have to come to this shop. You have to be with me because she's my biggest support." I feel like. Since I'm not a person who's very vocal, I get things done through her, something like that. It's easier actually for me to to get work done through her. Just do this for me, or get this work done from these people, or manage this for me. So she does that very well. So half my burden is less because of that. I don't need to go and do this ringmaster job of like, don't do this, why this is here, why this that. Nothing of that sort. I not do any such things. All those things she manages. So that is a great big change from how this store has worked for so many years. Uh, so that is one big thing, and also in terms of collection and all those things, since saris are purchased by men, the maximum they could do is like imagine how his wife or somebody would look like in that sari. That's about it. But when we go in person and get, we I feel have better perspective of the colors which
Absolutely.
suit people, and also the designs and what is in trend. That is also a big factor. These people are so used to buying the same old, keeping to the tradition kind of same old stuff. Ever since we have taken over these 5 years, a lot of people have come to tell us personally that they really like this change, this collection, and even how people interact with them. All those things have changed. It used to be like very mechanical. People used to be, it's a lethargic, kind of laid back town. People are lethargic. They come, they'll be sitting, they'll be like this. Enna paakano. That's about it. That's how they used to welcome people.
Okay.
And nobody used to feel bad about it because they are so used to the store being like this. So they used to not feel bad, like, what is this? We are not being properly received or something. It used to never be a complaint itself because it has been like this. And also, everybody knows everybody. So they are like, even people who come till now also, my staff, they call them with relation. They mention like mama, atte, ella. They call them like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
So that is still that is a nice integral part of this
Right.
thing.
Right.
Personal touch. They ask
Right.
them like how their family is, what the kids are doing. So that is a good thing. So that has not changed, but we have definitely told them like you also need to be a little bit active, more active in welcoming people, probably with a smile, or even even standing up, or just not be like, okay, if they want they'll come and take, otherwise they'll go home. No, that attitude has to be,
Has to change.
change. So we made
Okay.
sure that that thing happened. Yeah.
So your selection of saris, like you said, and when you point it out, it seems obvious that for 90 years it's always been men who ran the store, who bought the saris, who bought the stock, who sold, and here it is where in the last 5 years it's completely shifted where ladies are managing a store which is essentially for women who are coming. I mean, it is for the wedding occasion, so obviously. So have you what are the kind of things that you look for? Color is one thing, but you're
Yeah,
also very aware of how women want to be perceived,
correct. Very true.
for the occasion or whatever it is. So,
So
have you
we
expanded the number of people that you go to, stores that you vendors, or have you asked your existing vendors to improve their game?
actually for till say 5 years back, most of our purchases used to be from people who used to come and visit our store. The whole samples used to be bought by those people, suppliers, and
Okay.
they used to show us all the samples, even the colors, designs, everything. And whatever little thing they bring, that's about it. That used to be the sample. We could only
Hmm.
purchase in that very
Hmm.
limited set of variety which they had to offer. So now what we do is we have started traveling extensively.
Okay.
So I have created a kind of a team, a purchase team, which will go around places pan India. Which my husband used to do that. He used to travel pan India single handedly and do all the purchases. But since I'm not able to do that, like too much on travel all time,
Right. Right.
so I had to bring in a team who could do that for me. So all the ready-made purchases are mostly from north. So that
Okay.
was the only way we could ensure that whatever comes to the market first hits here immediately. Or usually it is usually a lag of 6 months. It takes 6 months for a trend to, pick up over here in this place. But now since media has come, people are watching a lot of serials,
Hmm.
Tamil serials and all those serials.
Hmm. Hmm.
They like to see what those people are tying in the what they are wearing in that serials or whatever is shown in the media, and they come immediately and they come and ask, "I need that kind of stuff,"
Hmm.
or even they even insist on few particular names of serials, and they'll be like, we want only that, what she's tying, that actress is tying, no, we want only that. So that thing makes us like, even we have to keep up with that. And also
Yeah.
online business is like boomed so much. Even after COVID, online business like really flourished. So online business has like totally connected the whole country with all the small parts of the towns also. So anything which is being sold in Ahmedabad, people over here are able to look at and purchase online.
Hmm.
So they even bring that, they come and show us like, we need this. So even very very close people, they even ask us to purchase. I don't know how you will get this, but I need it. So we try to find out from our suppliers and try to
Okay.
meet the demand. So that we started doing that. And then uh, now we are having a lot of agents. Usually agents, what they do is like, they give us a lot of variety. They take us to a lot more of suppliers than we traditionally used to. uh, Probably first it used to be hardly say 100 suppliers used to be there. They used to keep giving us the same old stuff. But now we have a variety. We can go and see 100 stores, different suppliers, select what best is there they have to offer, and we try to keep that in trend with the times, changing times, like whatever is being shown in media or something. So that is nice.
But then it also increases the complexity of your inventory, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because
So,
textiles, you don't need too much of inventory, but ready-mades, you have to have a lot of stock to show variety. Plus, because it is like divided into a lot of sizes. Um, but what we buy, we have to buy in all sizes. So we need to have a large amount of stock to at least cater to the basic demands of people. So we need to travel more, and even purchasing should be like where almost I wouldn't say you cannot do it accurately, but still we
yeah.
have to be very cautious while purchasing because dead stock is going to be the
Yes, yeah.
biggest profit eater
That's money
of
stuck. That's
yes,
literally money stuck in the.
right. So it
Yeah,
literally eats away your profit. So
right.
our main goal is to get that dead stock down. We should not have dead stock.
How did you set up this group of people who had to go and purchase stuff, guys?
Okay, so this store is being managed by my husband's very close friend, childhood friend actually. For the past 15 years, he's been with us. So he used to only manage the ready-made parts of it and the
Okay.
staff, mainly staff, customers, only those things. So once my husband passed away, I had immediately I couldn't start going out to purchase. So luckily he had quite a good experience buying men's clothing. He used to take care of that a little bit. So I had to give him additional responsibility actually.
Okay.
I had like even the women's and children's clothing. He had to go in and he had to learn from scratch. He had to learn. And like I said, a lot of people come over here to get they bring their samples, and then we used to purchase in store itself. Means we used to uh, order for our goods in store. They used to bring us stuff and show us stuff. So from that we are changing to totally going outdoors for purchasing. So whatever was purchase was done in store, initially I used to do it. And then this thing started, they started going out for purchases. So I started taking up whatever places I could visit easily, like Surat or Bangalore, Salem, Dharmavaram, and all the sari related stuff, Chennai also. So all those things, I could go easily, single handedly go and purchase. So all those things I started taking up, and the rest of it which was harder to travel or I could not do it single handedly, probably needed a team of 2 3 people at least to go, I have delegated to him. So he's got I have got a store manager, I have got a purchase manager, and I have got a counter head. Like, say for example, I have a section in charge. That person, he's a person who is going to actually know what is selling, not me or not the store manager. We just look at it from the next level. We just see, okay, what is the sales today? That's about it. We are not going to see
Okay.
whether pink color is selling more or yellow color is selling more, what size is selling more, what is that which doesn't sell. All those things, all those little nuances, only the counter in charge will know. So we have to take that person along too, because they have better idea of what these
What will
people
move?
really like. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So that was
And
easier
how
for me
was
that
it? Yeah, like you said, when you decided that you were going to get the purchase done,
time.
you had to overcome that thing of earlier it was your husband managing purchases, now you went.
Yeah.
So, what was it like in the initial bit? How did you ensure that you got your way?
Actually, that was not very hard. Actually,
That was not hard. Okay.
probably the travel part was hard because we are not properly connected by road or by rail or by
Hmm.
flight. This portion
Right.
is like, this place is like, um, it's a very small town, and my nearest big town is 60 kilometers away.
Whoa.
Um, and nearest large large town is 150 kilometers away. So the travel portion was the most trickiest portion of it. We end up losing a lot of time in travel itself, because from here to just catch a flight, I need to travel 100 kilometers, and from there is no direct. It's a small airport. Madurai is a small airport, so from
Right.
there I don't have connectivity to all major cities elsewhere in the north. I have to go to Chennai, and only from there is connectivity. So half the time goes in travel itself, and this travel portion, my mother-in-law was not very initially not very happy about me going alone. So
Mm.
my dad used to accompany me most of these travels. He used to be my he used to just come along for the fun sake of it. He loves traveling, so he was very supporting in that way. And we both used to go to Surat also, and we used to go and finish our purchases and come back. So once I got used to that, then it was easier for me also. Even though till date I have not gone to few places at all, thinking it will be hard. It is not a place where women go alone. There are a few places they say, I don't know. Probably I should go. That would be my next level. Probably in the next year I should do that.
So you dug into your reserves of Hindi. Have
Yes,
you dusted
yes,
it?
really helped. Really helped. So that's
Yeah.
when thinking back, everything happens for a reason. Life gives you so much of opportunities and lessons, which at that point of time may feel like, what is the point of this? Why am I going through this? But then somewhere else, it comes of use. I have observed that so much. I feel like, okay, so everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So
Mm.
same thing, like if I hadn't come to the shop every now and then, even every now and then, I wouldn't have taken over this easily. So everything
Okay.
happens for a reason. Yeah.
So now, how is it for this whole thing going forward? You brought a woman's touch,
Yeah.
and how do you see this evolving? See, one of the things, like we said, is this is your first job. This is literally your first job.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. And you've built on it. You created your own space. You've created your own environment. You have understood what it means. And
Yeah.
the amazing part is that you told me that you have 100 people working in the
Right.
store. So obviously it's a very large response, and to be running a store with 100 people in Tenkasi is not a small thing. It is definitely something that calls for a great deal of because only when people run a business do they understand how much is actually involved.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, from the outside it looks as if, yeah, stuff just magically comes and goes.
Yeah. Yes.
And, but you know the inside, and like you said, stock, how do you prevent, how do you ensure that. So in a sense you have chronicled the kind of garment preferences of Tenkasi in a temple city. So it is not the, let's say, your biggest customers are still people from the town itself,
Yes. And the villages nearby.
the villages nearby.
Mm.
Okay. So for them, you are one of the big stores because
Yes,
they come to
absolutely.
Tenkasi to
Yeah. Yeah.
buy that is there. Okay. Okay. So it's a So, how do you see this evolving, Gayatri? Do you see this as a continuum, saying that yes, I have now made some changes which I think will be adopted as part of the practices of the shop, or this is what I brought into the entire thing. But what are the things that you wish to sort of put into it going forward?
Every day is a learning experience in my
Okay,
this one, because these 5 years, every day I have learned something new. And
right,
every day, probably not every day, at least every other day, I have tried to put something new into my working or something we have been trying to, no, I wouldn't say it's innovative, but little practices we have changed few things, and so this is never going to be like this is what is going to be for the next probably 10 years. Things are going to be like this. No, I absolutely cannot say that, because uh, since this place has become a district headquarters, we are having a lot of competition also.
Ah,
Even big companies have started coming, like Reliance Trends, by Easy Buy, and such kind of corporate, major players are coming in, stepping in now. And recently, another family store. This is in general a family store where you can almost shop for everybody. So, not just ready-mades. There are also textiles, even shirting, suiting, even dhoti, towels, everything. We deal with everything, furnishing, everything. So such kind of family stores are also coming up. So if we keep thinking, okay, we'll be like this, whoever comes for us will come. If that mindset we have, we are not going to improve at all. So every day we need to keep innovating to do what, how not to lose our trusted or loyal customers. That is the major
right.
thing.
Yeah,
So we need to keep uh, in track with the competition which we are facing.
right.
So 10
Here's
years back.
something that Deepa's asked, which is there a little more acceptance of you as a businesswoman now in the town?
Yeah, of course. Means, okay, people whom I interact with, they really have seen the change, which you know, which has happened to me, or they can really see that change. So, in that terms, yeah, they do appreciate me, and they have a whole lot of respect for me, of how I'm actually able to manage this place without just like taking the easier way out. So I have but I would really say this is the easier way out for me, because this is known territory, rather than going and starting something new, or going to a job where all of totally new. I have never been or worked under anybody, so this is easier. That's what I would say. But they feel like, no, you're trying to make this sound very simple. So, but I really get a lot of compliments on that. Like, I have done a good job, so that is nice. That's nice.
So the confidence in your decisions, Gayatri, is it something that you sort of you made it tentatively, but now you're more sure? Is that,
No,
or
it's
do you
all
think that
trial and
you've gone by
error.
instinct?
Trial and error. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely trial and error. But then experience also does matter. Yeah. So most of the time, if you are going in for something really, something which we have never tried, so that is going to be a trial and error. Like recently, I had to change my total flooring, and I had
Okay.
absolutely no idea where to start and how to end it, whom to get. I had, because since there are a lot of choices, I didn't know whom to choose to do this job, and we had time constraint also, because we cannot just close the shop and say it is closed for work. I can't lose that. So I just had 2 working days. I could only close for 2 working days, and I had to change the entire flooring within that time frame. So doing that, taking that kind of decisions, which is totally new to me. What kind of flooring would, because I was not actively involved at that time, where the flooring was last changed probably some 10-15 years back. So I had no idea what actually goes into it. So all those things I had to really learn. I had to learn, ask people, ask them ideas, what will work and all that, and then taking a decision uh, skeptically, hope it works to
Hmm.
our advantage. So it is very easy to say, no, see, she's done something for the flooring. This doesn't even look good. It doesn't go with the decor. Or this place doesn't look nice, or something like that. 1 second, all that work done will go to waste. So all those things were like really with a lot of fear in mind. The decisions were mostly taken like that. But
But you
thankfully,
managed.
managed,
You got
yes.
it done in two
We got
days.
it done. And yes, we
Wow.
did it. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
So
So what did you look at? I'm just trying to The reason I'm going into it in a little more detail is: did you focus on color? Did you focus on the ease of placing it? Did you say, this is what I want to change?
Okay. So, as such, majorly, I have not made such kind of total 180-degree changes. Nothing of that sort. Nothing of
Right.
that sort. But I'm planning to. I'm for the past even before Corona, we were planning to totally change our front elevation. So all those things are going to be another big experience for me.
Big,
Probably
big decisions.
big
Yes.
big decisions, and also um, that is also going to involve a lot of finance. So I am more of a finance person. So till now, I personally feel that has been one of my strengths. So I could manage this whole thing easily because I knew how finance was coming in and how it was going out, what taxes I have to pay, what who else I have to pay. All those things was like easier for me to decipher. So this is going to be like I have to start budgeting for that, for such kind of expenses, big expenses. How I'll be able to manage that big expense without getting a crunch of any sort, or without uh, because I'm very particular about my payments to my suppliers. We majorly have our goodwill only because of that with our suppliers all these years, because we have been very prompt with our payments. And so Bombay stores, if you just tell that, people have a different kind of respect for the name itself because we have been so good at it. So I want to maintain that. I don't want to like cause any kind of little problem in that. Those kind of things, those are my major issues, not sales. Even those things don't eat my head much. Such kind of
Okay.
things, finance related things, they totally take up my thinking, and I majorly focus on those things. Because if your finance is strong, you can try to at least overcome things. Because overheads they are like they keep
Galloping.
increasing day by day, yeah. But our the rest of the things remain the same. Salary is not getting increased in that pace as expenses. People's salary, I mean, or their earnings are very pretty meager in this town. Not nothing compared to big towns. So they run a family with a mere 10,000 rupees. They run a family of 4 or 6 people. I really don't understand how they are able to do it, but they are content. Everybody is content with that. And this town doesn't have much of big avenues for expenditure.
Hmm.
You don't have any place where you can just go and splurge or something. Absolutely nothing. Just recently, 4 months back, we got a good restaurant in this town where we could sit and
You
eat.
finally got.
Yes, we
Okay.
finally got it. Because till now, it has only been a very, very small mess kind of places where 4 people, maximum 8 people sit and they eat, or mostly it is parcel taken home. Only such kind of places used to be there. So now we have got a proper restaurant where we could sit and eat, and people are like, now they are finding out, oh my god, one dosa costs 100 rupees. Now they're able to tell that because till now it has only been 40. So it's very, very reasonable. Very reasonable. You still get one vada, one tea for 10-15 bucks, which is like great. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, how is it with the next generation now? How is your take on where this business will go from a?
Okay. You mean my son's coming and taking over that thing? Huh?
Yeah. How
I
do
have
you
no
see
idea.
this?
No, no, no. I have no
Okay.
idea because my husband also was very, very clear about that. Since he
Okay.
too didn't want to come and get settled over here, he was like, he was literally forced. He used to say, like, I was literally forced into this business because there was no other alternative. I had to take care of
Okay.
this business. So I won't do that to my boys. They have full freedom to choose whatever they want to do. If they come and they choose to do this business, I'll be very happy. But I will not subject them to any kind of emotional blackmailing like my parents did. Like, No, you only have to, you have no other goal. I'm not going to do any such stuff. He used to say that, and I feel the same. It's totally up to them. But I do try to actively tell them what is happening in the store, how I manage it, what all we do, so that they also get an idea, what I'm going through, so that they also, like, in the extreme eventuality of something goes wrong somewhere, they also should be equipped with some knowledge to, take this forward.
Yeah.
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 Or even if they are really interested, that also creates a kind of interest,
True.
like traveling, going to new places, buying stuff, meeting new people, all those things. Even they have to, if it is of interest to them, I'll be very happy. Yeah.
Wow. I'll just show a few of the comments which have been coming up, Gayatri, because I didn't want it
Okay.
to intrude while you were. And I think from everything that I'm seeing in the people who have commented and the kind of respect that you've earned,
Yeah.
it's been an amazing story. And I think the sheer practicality with which you've approached so many things
Mm.
and said that yes, this is the circumstances that I am in at the moment, and this
Yes.
is what I need to do.
Yes.
Uh, Keeping the interests of 100 people in mind, 100 people and their families in mind, your own family, and how you felt, managing an entire generational shift in gender. Because, like you said, in 90 years of the company, this has been one phase where two women have literally been at the helm of affairs.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've brought in a woman's touch, you've brought in things which are so important to, to your audience and everything else. It's a truly inspiring story, Gayatri. And I think, thank you for taking the time. And like I told you, 1 hour just passed, right? I don't
Oh
know if
my
you.
god, I'm surprised actually. Because I was very skeptical, very, very skeptical of doing this. I'm like, I had my own,
No,
misgivings. I
I'm
was
I'm
like, not
so
very.
glad that you agreed, and thank you to Deepa for
Yes, main.
ensuring
All
that.
thanks to her. She was like constantly telling me, no, you can do this. You have to do this. So I did it for her. So it totally is for her. Yeah, all
Yeah,
kudos to her.
and I think I learned so much about how the attitudes in a town, and like you said, from the time that you weren't allowed to ride a two-wheeler through town to actually shepherding the entire store and all its people and bringing about fresh practices.
Okay.
More strength to you, Gayatri. Thank you for
Thank
spending the
you.
time, and it's been a real pleasure having you on the show.
Feeling the same feelings
Thank you.
again. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
It's not an opportunity. I think it was our good
No,
this
it's
thing
an
that you
opportunity
agreed to
for
come.
me to also step out of my comfort zone, right?
Yeah,
So
and I'm so glad.
that's a
Yeah,
great, yeah, right.
yeah,
So
I'm
this
so glad you
one of
did
a
that.
kind. I've never done this kind of things before. I had my own fears. I was so nervous, and even
I
till,
can assure you, through the last 60 minutes, you there was not a single moment when you seemed nervous.
oh my, well, I am sweating a
Okay.
lot. Probably it doesn't show.
Thank you, Gayatri.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.